Right. Sorry about my writing at the top, it is a bit weird, but never mind. So we're going to have something called specialisation in AQ, what board is it? OCR AS Economics. So this is topics called specialisation and exchange. So we have to ask ourselves, well, what is what is specialisation? Well, specialisation describes the process by which firms, individuals, countries, or economies general term, specialise. Oh, actually, not good to use specialise. We're going to use the word concentrate. So firms, economies, or individuals specialise, concentrate on a task, and one task over performing others. So I just put a short thing of concentrating on one task over others. On one task over others. So what is an advantage of this? Well, obviously, if we're concentrating on more one good over others, one good or services or task, I think that's the way I like to talk about it, but a good or service would be a better word to put. So if we're concentrating, if a country concentrates on what it's good at, which it probably want to do, it's going to be more efficient. So if it's more efficient, it can produce more goods and services from its existing set of resources. So if I've got £5, and I dig a hole in the ground with a £2 digger thing, what are they called these days? Back in my day, it was a whole lot different. So if I dig it and I have more, if I find just a pot of oil, a back garden, just nicely buried with a load of mementos, death to the oil sort of thing, I pick it up, make some petrol. If I'm more efficient, I can make that petrol cheaper, so I can keep the price the same and actually produce more of the goods and services from my existing set. As I can produce more petrol, as I waste less. So that advantage is increases, and if everyone does this, increases world output. So increase global output. So it increases global output. That's very nice. And obviously, in some countries, they may be more efficient at producing goods or services than other countries. So, for example, if you live in Jamaica and you thought, I want to grow a banana, it's going to be much easier to grow a banana due to the weather, climates, or skills we've got available. More the weather in this case than we have in England, because every day it shines. It is a billion. About average out for raining days. So it increases trade between, if you do geography, GCSE, if you did, it increases countries that are not doing so well. So LEDCs, I think it is, and MEDCs increases trade for them too. So you just say increases trade between poor countries and rich countries. That's all we need to know. So increases trade. Because normally a country that is really well developed, such as England, is not going to trade. Would not trade much with a country such as I could use Jamaica again. Actually, I'm not picking it up for any reason. Just the country comes to mind. For example, in computers, if Jamaica decided to produce computers, you'd probably go with Japan, as it's more centralised and produces more technology. Just for example, so if you, it's just an example. So trade between rich and poor. I just rich plus poor. So there are obviously two big ones that I talk about. Now you would need to relate it to a case study if it was asking you about that. But what are the drawbacks? I mean, obviously, for every advantage, it's going to be a drawback. Well, not of that advantage, but there's going to be a drawback. So, if, for example, it's very good saying, well, yes, China can trade with Jamaica or a hot country that produces nice bananas, but if their supply of bananas runs out with some nickname Joe just drives over every palm tree or Hurricane Katrina, thought, so, I'm going to change it from America this time, I'm going to go down to Jamaica and, destroy all the bananas. Then obviously that country, it's going to take a while to grow them resources. So if they're finite resources and they can no longer trade, they've got nothing to fall back on. So finite resources could affect trade. And if something is finite, it increases price, and that's to do with the macro economy. And as this is the micro, I think that's the right way around, then, we're only talking about just general stuff here. And it's sort of going on from that. If they've got finite resources, it could be because, so if the trade could stop between rich and poor countries if the finite resources run out or the demand changes. They just don't like bananas anymore. So, sort of the same thing. So tastes can change. So just to go over that again, advantage of specialisation, global output increases, trade between rich and poor countries increases, finite resources are there, it could affect trade as they can no longer trade resources they don't have. Chase can change, same sort of thing, so from trade between rich and poor, the resources run out, you can't trade, if the chase change, people aren't going to want it. And advantage is global output. So global output, trade between rich and poor, advantage, disadvantage, finite resources could affect trade, and tastes can change which would affect trade. So global output increases, trade increases between rich and poor, however finite resources decrease and tastes can change. So I'm going to do that really quickly. Now I'm not going to write this on a board because it's kind of connected. There's something called the division of labour. Now basically what this is the specialisation of work by individuals in firms. So for example, if you're producing a pen, it's been found by Adam Smith in his book, The Wealth of Nations in the 18th century. So if we've got specialisation of individuals, such as, I don't know, he described Adam Smith's side about buttons, but as we're talking about, we're in a technological age, you can talk about iPhones. If you've got someone producing an iPhone, if one person produces one iPhone, if one person is set with by Apple, you're going to produce all the iPhones for China. He's probably going to produce about 20 a day, and obviously that wouldn't do Apple's sales very good. But if they split it up, and they say, yes, Jim, you're going to do the screen, Jones, you're going to do the cover, and some talented guy with their unique name, without being racist, I can't really say anything, but I should take that out actually, sorry. So if you've got different people producing different parts of the phone, you're going to be able to produce more phones. Basically, it's more quick, it's quicker to produce a screen than a whole phone, and people are just doing the same thing over again. And obviously that would increase output of the economy. I'm going to talk about to that really, but never mind. So, an advantage of firms, basically, to clear it all up for you if you didn't get that, it allows the workers to become more efficient, so their labour productivity increases, which is a business topic, but still. Time is solved by tasks, however, obviously it can become monotonous if you're doing the same, putting the same screen on, putting the same bit of your phone on, it's going to get boring, dull, you're going to purposely take days off work, and obviously that, again, a business topic, but, so, advantages, more efficient, and disadvantages could become boring. Obviously that would affect the workforce, etc. Now that's it for specialisation, really. I hope there wasn't a very big topic, and we'll see you in the next video, hopefully.